Well, good evening, guys. Happy Friday. Today we have unusual show because we're gonna have lots of sassy girls on this show today. We're gonna have a sassy dispatcher as me, right? And then we're gonna have our real drivers, women, and we're gonna talk about the issues of safety on the road. So please make sure you help us to cheer them up and ask the questions because we do want to help women on the road who are driving now, women who would like to come to the trucking industry. And today we're going to look at the perspective of actually issues, and we're going to start with the parking. But first, before I start, of course, I want to bring those sassy girls today in the studio. They're going to tell us when did they start driving, why did they choose to be in trucking industry, is this something that they try to do for another 5-10 years, or maybe they are ready to quit today. So let's see. And here it is. Here's our first guest, Francis, and second one is Leona. Hi, girls.
Hi.
Look at
Hi.
you, all sassy, all cute, different lipsticks. So we can be like in a really show, right? Reality show, trucking show. So Francis, let's start with you.
Yes.
First, introduce yourself. Tell how old are you, how many years you've been driving, and where do you live? If you have kids, if you married. So let's start with those basic information because everybody's curious. Everybody's like, who is she? Okay, so let's start.
Well, I am 39. I lost count after 21, so I don't know.
Okay, we're all gonna be staying there in 25. 25.
Yeah.
We'll find.
I've been married since 2004. I have 4 kids, 2 in college, 2 in high school. I've been driving since 2016. I team drive with my husband. Um, he drives
So
nights.
2016. So you've been driving already for 6 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is this decision came from your husband when they were talking about changing ELD, so he needed a team driver? Or why did you finally decide to go to trucking? Tell me the
Well,
truth.
I wasn't gonna go into trucking. I was scared to drive, but my dad drive, my grandpa drove. I come from a trucking family, so I was scared I wasn't gonna be able to handle the truck, and I practiced, and he's like, "Oh, you should get your driver's license. We can drive together. We can make more money." And I was like, "No," I was like, "I won't be able to do it." He's like, "Yeah, you will." So I practiced and started driving, basically
So
for
four kids. Francis, 4 kids. When at dinner, finally you made the dinner and you said, well, this is gonna be kind of last supper for this week. Mama goes on the road. How did the kids take the news?
Um, it was hard for them at first. Like I never been away from them, you know, that long. So it was tough for me mentally, man, because I was like, I need to go home. I was like, what did I do? Like this is the biggest mistake I ever made. But then I got the check and I was like, well, we can handle this. We can make
Okay,
some
so money talks.
choices.
Okay, money talks. Probably after a week or two, kids like, okay, it's easier without mom watching us, right? More freedom. So everybody got happy. Husband has a buddy to drive, right? Probably you take care of the food and everything else, so it's easier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice story. So where do you live, guys? Which state?
Florida.
Florida. Are you the owner operators or you are company drivers?
Owner operator.
You are owner operator for how many years?
3.
For 3 years. So this is your truck. Do you have your own authority or you still drive for somebody else?
I drive for somebody else under their authority. It's
Under
cheap.
their authority. Well, you know what? Now you're going to be lucky you met me. We're going to put you in a business in the next 6 months when the market changes. Not right now. So we'll take care of it. Well, thank you, Francis. Well,
Thank
let's
you.
go to Leona. So Leona is, before she's going to introduce, she's my previous student. And I know that she's also a driver and she is a biker because I see all those sassy pictures and I am so jealous. I can tell you this, all your outfits, all your leather pants and everything, like, you know what? Maybe sometimes I'm going to visit you and we're going to go and take that bike on the road together, right, Leona? So tell me how long you've been in business, where do you live, why trucking?
Okay, well, I started trucking in 2016, but I there was a trucking incident that happened in February of 2020 that caused me to get out of it for a little bit, and so that's why I ended up choosing to go ahead and do the dispatching thing and took your class. I live in Lafayette, Louisiana, and
Okay.
I chose trucking because I put my oldest son in trucking, and when I put him through school, I thought about it. It was something I always wanted to do, and I thought to myself, well, we could team. And so I ended up just quitting my job, dry turkey, and just leaping into doing that.
What did you do before?
I worked at Goodwill Industries.
Okay. So you decided that you're gonna team up. So you got to a CDL. So let's go back to getting that CDL because again, I cannot relate, guys. Guys, I do jump from the plane, right? I do skydiving, I do skiing, I do a lot of crazy things, but I am terrified of big trucks. Is that really possible to go and pass that class and park the truck? Because when I look how you guys do it, I don't know. You like my hair, especially for girls, I think it's even harder. So, Leona, was it challenging for you to go to school and pass that exam?
It was, especially the backing. It took a while. It took a while. Even once I was done with that and got into training with a company driver, as a company driver, it was challenging after my training there and my trainer left. I remember always wanting to park. I never wanted to park at a truck stop. I always pulled in at the rest area because you just pull in. So I did that for a while. So the most for me, the hardest part was the backing. But once you get it, it just clicks one day, and once you get it, you get it.
Okay, let me ask you this. Was there any situation when you actually did had to ask for help? When you had to get out from the truck, and of course you're a beautiful girl, so in this case you use it to your advantage. And like, guys, can somebody help me to back up to this dock or somewhere? Did ever happen or no?
Yes, not as much as I thought it would. No matter, this is the thing, and it's really weird. You think that you can kind of bat your eyelashes at them and they'll help you. That's not necessarily true. They actually will watch to see if you can do it. It's like a show. It's like a
Oh,
show.
so they want to record the show, right? And probably go live like that.
Yeah,
Your husband then so he probably goes and posted on TikTok. Oh, look, Francis
yeah,
backing up again.
yes,
Let's
yeah,
make the laughs here, right? Let's get the likes, right?
yeah.
So
You
that's
know,
what's going
yeah,
on. Oh
yeah.
my god.
It was intimidating at first, but when I got it, I remember thinking, after I got it, I would back up and be like, "Watch me work, watch me." I wanted
Yes,
them to watch.
I got this. You get very confident after.
I was, so yeah.
Okay, so Francis, to you, any problems with passing exam and passing driving part of
Yeah, it was parallel parking, but I didn't go to school for driving. I was taught by my husband
Oh,
because he
you
had
skipped that
dedicated
part
ones.
because he wanted to save money on the training. He's like, I'm gonna teach you.
I didn't need any training by the time I went to got my license because he already showed me everything. And he was like, "Oh, you should just go take the test." And I went to a school and I paid for them to show me how to park because me and him in the truck, it wasn't working out with him telling me how to park because he was like, "Go this way," and I go that way. And he's like, "Go this way." And it didn't work out. So we paid the school so they could show me how to actually park. But everything else, it was fine. It was just the back end was the hardest for me. Like I couldn't get that at all.
Okay. Do you still have times when you wake up your husband, even if it's not his shift, like, hey, honey, can you just do this?
Yeah, yeah, because I'm scared I'm gonna hit something and then
No,
I become
Francis, because you
liability.
want to be famous on TikTok. So you're going to take videos and you're going to put him there, right? So you have more views. Okay, that's all funny. So I guess it's possible. So you guys really think if I go to school, I can learn how to drive that big
I
truck?
don't, doubt, I
Yeah,
don't doubt it.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, I guess I put it on my list. Okay, so school is over. Let's go to Leona. The first driving position challenges as a female driver, no experience, brand new CDL. What were the challenges?
The first challenge for me was the training, the sexual advances from the trainers. I had
Jeez.
to deal with that.
Okay. So
Um,
you had to deal with, hold on, let's go to
Let's
some of
go.
the statistics. So let's go to some statistics. So first, for a lot of times, women get verbally offensive comments. Well, and this study was done by Women in Trucking Association, and of course, we not every women in trucking took this, right? So we only had like 500 participants, but 56% said that yes, offensive comments happened. 56%. Well, has not happened. 29 did not wish to answer to, but 56%. This is a big number. Unwanted physical advances. Wow, more than once. Look at this number, 39%. And we're talking about just a small group who participated in this study. So, can you believe the reality of these numbers if every female driver would take a part of this study? I think this number
It would be
would not
different.
be 39%. I think it would be closer to 65, 70, because that's a reality. So
Yeah.
let's talk about this. So that happened because you had opposite sex trainers, right? That you were assigned to, right? Because a lot of companies, they cannot just assign you another woman who is going to be training you. So most likely, this is a combination. And I cannot even picture you go with a stranger and you go with a male and you go with somebody who thinks that he has power over you because you need to get experience, right?
yes, yes.
So what happened? Like, how did you handle that?
Oh my God. Well, reporting it. The thing about reporting it, I found was that um, their supervisors, they're not gonna let their trainers go. You're new. They will cover for their trainers, and they rather lose you because they can always get somebody else in, but they need their trainer. So I quickly realized that, you know,
Yeah, that filing complaint, it's not
it was
probably going to be solution because they're not going to take you seriously,
right.
and you did not even have the power to really go to the next step because you have to involve actually lawyers and prove and everything. And when you're going to be in denial, well, this is a reality. And a lot of industries, but in trucking it is really
It's
really sad.
listen. When I did report it though, I did report the first time. I did report it, and that's what ended up happening. You know, he kind of just brushed it off, and I wanted another trainer. But what was going on was that trainer had told other trainers that
About
I
you.
was going to be a problem. So it was
Mhm.
hard to find another trainer, which made my training longer. It took longer because, I had to find a trainer that was willing to let me get on their truck, um and not worry about me, um going to report anything, and whether it was sexual or anything, just anything that they were doing that they were not supposed to be doing. They want to be able to have somebody in their truck that they can get away with certain things, and so it was really hard to get a trainer, but I did do that. And this trainer, the next trainer I got, he didn't sexually harass me, but he was military, and he didn't like taking baths, and
Okay.
he didn't like stopping at the truck stop because he was always, he want to go, 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 make the money. And he was
Okay,
really like,
so then we come into other issue. You being a human, not even female, you
yeah,
have your basic needs, right? You need to
exactly,
shower, you need to go to washroom, you need to eat, you need to refresh your. I mean, just a bit doesn't matter female or male. Well, him being a military guy, probably. I mean, they go to boot camps, and probably they're used to that.
yes,
So you now were kind of, well, it was no sexual harassment, but now you were like in an army boot camp, right?
yeah, yes. And I tell you, it was hard too with him because he would holler at me whenever I wouldn't do something right. And and it was so hard because I wanted to quit. But the way I left my last job, it was I didn't have anything to go back to. I had no choice but to keep pushing
So
forward.
you actually went through the trucking boot camp.
I
Yeah.
did.
So
Yeah.
if that guy is watching us now, and probably one day he will find us on YouTube, on TikTok, hey, military guy, it's not a boot camp. Those female drivers, they are going because they want to be a professional drivers. And yes, we do have our basic needs. We need to shower, we need to eat, we need to have a break and start screaming. She's not in army. She did not sign up to for you to be her surgeon, right? So please make sure you don't do that. Sometimes guys don't understand that that's a reason why so many women quit because before they ever gonna go on their own. And this is the reality.
Yeah.
So you have a strong personality. You did not quit because you did not have backup, but did you really deserve to go through that?
No.
No, you did not. So, Francis, let's go to you. You lucky. Well, your husband doesn't seem like he's a military guy. He might be just laughing and screaming sometimes. But was there any challenges with your driver, your husband supervising you because he's been doing it for longer? Now you drive as a team. Was there any situation when you sometimes didn't want to even talk to him, or you just like, you know what? Please,
I
just
quit.
keep driving. I'm gonna quit. Did you want to just tell him, stop the truck? I'm getting off right here, and I'm flying back. I'm Ubering back. I am walking back. I don't care. Did you had those moments?
For driving with him for 6 years, we definitely had our moments. It was really hard. Like, you don't know somebody. Like, we've been together since we were 15. So obviously I know him. I know him. I like really know him as much as his family knows him. And being in the truck with him, it made it that much harder. I was like, whoa. Like,
Wow, now you have that person 24/7.
yeah,
Now
being
you
in the
don't
truck
have a
with him is
break from each
crazy.
other. He
Yeah.
probably found you as a new Francis. Probably he's like, oh my God, I thought that she's sweet and nice and this and that. Who the hell I married, right? Because this is a reality. Look at
Yeah.
the COVID. When the COVID happened and people, you know why we have so many divorces? Because when the COVID happened and people had to be in the same room or same house 24/7 for a few months, most of the people like,
Yeah.
I don't even know this person and I don't even like this person and I have been married to this person for 10 years. So, but this is the reality of trucking. So
Yeah.
how do you solve this problem? Do you have like maybe say way of saying, listen, just leave me alone, let's not fight? How does it, because when you're fighting and you still have to take care of the truck,
Yeah, you
well,
still have to be safe. You still
you
have to
still
pay
have
the
to be
off.
safe,
The
right?
load still has to get there. No, we have a mutual agreement. Like, when we have our bad days, we just, keep distance, even though it's hard because we're right next to each other. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
if it was anybody else, I don't think I would have lasted this long in a truck with another driver. Like,
Okay.
you know, being without him in the truck, I don't know. I don't even think I'd be driving anymore. So, yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about shippers and receivers because I personally do believe that girls, when you guys go check in and you bring your BOLs, you succeeding better than most of the guys. What
Mhm.
do you think? In security chat, when you check in and you smile and you're like, here you go. Do you think that they help you to unload faster, or this is something which people make up stories?
No, they make up stories. Nobody helps me. That,
No.
sometimes,
No.
but it's usually do it yourself, get it done. It's gonna be longer now because it's a woman, here checking in or whatever, Because I drive a flatbed with my husband, and when we get to the deliveries and we're hauling like 80,000 pounds, he has to get up because I can't use that bar to loosen that load because he used his superhuman strength, to tighten the load down. And they get all surprised because they think I'm by myself or they're going to try to make a move on me. When they see my husband, then they're like, oh, okay, then, maybe we can't mess with her because she has somebody with her.
Okay, but let's talk about those warehouses because mostly still it's going to be what? Male dominated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you ever feel like you are in situation where you don't feel safe when you get kind of verbally insulted, kind of also sexually insulted, when you feel like people judging you or they are giving you that not fair treatment just because you're a female driver? Do you feel that on everyday routines?
Yeah.
I've never experienced that in a warehouse. I mean, I go in and I've never fortunately I've never
For
Okay.
me,
Yes, go
for
ahead. For
me,
Leona has to connect to us. She probably
yeah,
on the phone.
for
So
me, I do get that. I get that vibe when I'm by myself and I'm doing a pickup. When I drove dry van, I had that problem because I didn't need my husband to get up. I'd back in, back out, get loaded, get unloaded with no problems. But I always had that, like, oh, we can just mess around because she's a chick. Like, I do my job just like you. Like, I should be treated equally, fairly.
fairly okay.
I do.
I see your husband's posting. So let's read. The kids took too much money. Okay, that's why you put her in a truck. Okay. Trucking is not just for men, obviously, because your kids need so much money. So okay. So come on now. Now you're making her work hard. No, lol. Okay, hopefully not. Let's see what is Penny says. Yes, and they will laugh at you on the CB. Okay.
Yes, good,
Oh, so let's
good,
talk
Penny.
about this. You drive next to your husband. A lot of drivers probably, I mean, they know that you're driving as a couple, right?
Yeah.
So when you hear them talking, so because usually they say women are gossiping, can you guys prove to me that the guys are actually the worst gossipers out there?
I
Yeah.
agree.
So how many times you sitting on the side listening to your husband conversation, you feel like, oh my God, this is totally going their own way, right? Do you feel that?
Yeah. I don't talk on the CB. I just stay out of it because they, I can't even say anything about the CB. I just listen to it for safety reasons. Like, oh, you got a flat tire or you got a latch loose or watch out for something on the road or, there's an accident up there. That's the only thing I listen to on the CB. Other than that, I don't understand anything that they're saying on there half of the time.
Okay. So not moving means no money. So
Yep.
tell me this. So I know your husband is not a military, but is he ever giving you a break? Are you allowed to even have a vacation? Who
Yeah.
is the boss? Who is the boss in the truck? So let's really think. Who is
Uh,
the boss?
I think I'm the boss at home and in the truck.
Okay. So if you decide that it is vacation time, I guess it is vacation time, right?
Yeah, we come to a mutual agreement. We just got back from Paris before the beginning of the year, so it hasn't been bad.
Well, Penny Anderson is like, my husband is like, you, Alex, blah, blah, blah. Well, we blah, blah, blah reality. That's what we do. And this is not a blah, blah, blah. This is a fact. This is a data. And this is reality. So
Yeah.
let's go back to that parking issues. Which states do you guys think is most not welcoming for drivers? And we're not talking just about female drivers, but what do you think? I mean, all over USA. Leona, what do you think?
Tennessee is the worst for me. Um,
And why is that?
um, there's a lot of there's a lot of I every time I would have to park and sleep at a truck stop in Tennessee, you would have people knocking on my window, or you hear sirens. It just doesn't feel safe. That's one of the places that you'll hesitate to get out and do anything once you park. So it was always something going on there,
So,
and I
what
would.
are your tips since you have to go sometimes to Tennessee? What did you start doing? What tips can you give for the women? Like, do you park in certain area?
Yes. So of course, I park where it's lit. It's always something. I will not, even if there is I would not recommend parking um, at a truck stop. And even if there is a parking spot, but it's not in a lit area, I would much rather go find a rest area or somewhere else, because that's not safe. Walking in between these trucks are not safe. And then when I'm inside of my truck, I always not only lock my door, but I rig it up to where if they try to pull on it, you can't get to it. So you can't get in. So there's so many different things you can do to protect yourself, and I always do carry some type of protection. Even whenever I'm coming out, from taking a shower, everything, and I'm always being aware of my
Yeah.
surroundings. So you can only do so much.
Okay.
Um,
So, Francis, let's go back for you because now you're gonna tell us the real story that you almost got abducted in Colorado. So, tell us, you were with your husband. So, when did it happen? And give us details because this is a reality, and we need to share this
Yeah.
terrifying experience that you
Oh,
went through.
it was. I wanted to quit my job after that, man. I was like, I need to start carrying a gun or.
So, let's start it. So, it was Colorado. When
Yeah.
was it?
The first year I started driving.
The first year you start driving. Okay, so that was the story. So you guys park in Colorado. What
Yeah,
happened?
park at the rest area to use the bathroom, and I always park in the front because being in the trucking industry with my husband and my dad, and knowing people I know to be aware. Even like with taking my kids with me, like if I take the girls with me, we always park in the front at the truck stop or in the front
Mhm.
at the rest area where it's lit. Like she said, like just to be safe, like I already knew this, but when I stopped at the rest area on I-25 just outside Colorado, I needed to use the bathroom. I couldn't wait. And I was so scared to pee on the side of the road, because I can't just pee wherever, like the guy does. I have to like get out and actually use the
I mean,
bathroom.
it's not just you; it's every female,
Yeah.
right?
And
I
I'm
mean,
like, how do these chicks do it, man? Like what do your bladder got to get used to being held for like 3 hours or 5 hours or 8 hours or however long you can hold it. What happens when you have an accident? Like, I was like, I need to use the bathroom. So I stopped. I didn't wake my husband up. I went to the rest area restroom and it was really lit. It was still early. It wasn't too dark. There was a lot of cars in the parking lot, a lot of trucks, so it was like it wasn't deserted. It wasn't scary for me. I got off to use the bathroom. And as I walked up to the bathroom, there was a guy that was standing outside. And I was like, oh, he's waiting for his girlfriend. He's waiting for his kid. He's waiting for somebody because he's standing outside the girl's restroom. Like, I went in the restroom, used the restroom, and I didn't see anybody in there. I didn't hear anybody. I came out and he was still there. And I was like looking around, like, what's going on here? Like, why is he still outside? Like, I was like, okay, this is getting creepy because if he follows me, I'm gonna have to run because like what there's other people sitting in their cars, sleeping in their cars. There was other people out. So I was like, maybe he's with somebody. Man, I started walking back to my truck and I like looked over my shoulder and he was like walking behind me and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I gotta make it to my truck because I'm parked in the front. I'm always vigilant of my surroundings no matter what. And he's like runs after me. Like I get in my truck and I close the door and I lock it. And he's running to my truck, like trying to open the door in my truck. And I don't know if he was like watching me before to see if I was by myself.
hmm
What was
okay.
that?
I think it will. We here's maybe only on this one.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so
And I get in my truck and I wake up my husband. I'm screaming. I'm like, this guy's trying to get me. Like, what do we do? Because I carry a bat and a glove in my truck. And he jumps out of the truck, jumps out of the back and goes to the door. And the guy's like already up to the window, like he's trying to, get through the window. And he sees my husband and he was like, oh crap, and my husband gets out and he jumps in his car and drives like crazy. Like, we can't catch him, can't catch up to him. Man, from then, I got a
did
port.
you guys call police? Did you try
No,
to make a report? Why
no.
not?
We're in the middle of nowhere. I figured it wasn't going to help, you
Yeah,
know.
but I mean, they have
Nothing to do.
cameras. They have cameras, and they probably could find the plate number.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about it. I was just freaking out. Like I had to take like 10 minutes just to sit there because I was like, man, what if you would have got me? Like,
Okay.
it was
Okay.
really crazy
So
for me.
and this is a number one issue, the parking. So let's look at the numbers. And we have approximately 3.5 million professional truck drivers, and that does not include everybody who has a CDL. And we only have USA has approximately 313,000 parking spaces. So for every 11 drivers, there is only one parking space. So this is not only the problem for female drivers, but it's definitely a problem on a national level, and nobody really wants to throw those numbers, right? And
Yeah.
general public does not want to be aware of that. But I mean, I think that parking is a number one issue. That's when the girls usually start what? They afraid to park. They get it assaulted. They get to situation when actually we have a lot of rape going on. We have a lot of things which people are not talking. Nobody talking about this, right? And some females, they start buying the dogs, right? Because Candace was supposed to be with us, but she's driving to get a new puppy, so she couldn't make it today. But she has a huge dog. So Leona, have you ever thinking when you were driving that you still want to carry gun, bat? What do you carry to protect yourself? The big dog, the tiger? Do you wanna just own the huge tiger who gonna walk with you? How do you protect? What was that, Francis? What you were showing?
That's my taser. I
Oh,
carry it
this
when
is,
I stop at the
oh,
truck
so you do,
stop.
so you do carry that with you. So Leona, what do you have for
She's
helping?
I can't show you what I got.
My biker bros and sis know what I carry. But no, I carry a really, really sharp knife.
A
But
bunch of
the one that I do, but that one is on my hip. But whenever I'm walking to take my, if I have to walk between the truck or I taking a shower, there's this ring that you can have, and it's really it's a pointed blade on the ring.
oh
That
girl.
way, if I have to, fight, it'll be sticking the person that's trying to get me.
I
Yeah.
didn't get one of those.
Okay. So, and that's again just to prove the point about the trucking that the lack of truck parking is a significant safety issue for women drivers.
Yes,
And
I agree.
we strongly agree, 14 agree, 39%. And again, this is a study which is not done on everybody in trucking, not on all the females in trucking, right? Let's see, how often are you forced to make a stop where you don't feel safe? Have you ever had a situation that you do have to stop because you are first, maybe, I don't know, by shippers, receivers, maybe by people chasing you? Let me ask you this. When you drive the truck and the guys are passing you by, do you ever have the situation when they kind of try to make it unsafe to you because they start playing that game? See if he goes faster. You, does it happen or usually does not happen?
I
Just
think it
because.
does happen. I think they get intimidated when they see a woman driving, like try to push me off the road as they're passing me, and I'm like we're all doing the same job here. You're just making it harder, for other people that are on the road. Like,
What do you think, Leona? Did you ever had a truck next to you when they see that it's you and you cute and you have your smile? Do you think that they start playing those unsafe games to show the power? I mean, I know you are a strong biker and probably you don't let them do that, but still, do you think that that's something which is going on between truck drivers when they see the female driver?
I've never had it happen to me. The only thing I've had is, they stick the butterfinger or something.
what?
I didn't even have to do it. I just could have said it, right? But yeah, they'll stick the butterfinger, but I've never had anybody test me like that. So
Okay. And
fortunately.
this is a one of the statistics. So again, it's not on a national data, but look at this. Experience rape, 2% from that group happen more than once, 2% happen once, 4%, right? And
That's
did
a lot.
not wish to answer 6%. So usually that 6% is usually gonna go to the first or second column because people just afraid to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
People afraid of being judged, people afraid of stigma, people just emotionally cannot talk about trauma.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. Every company you work, and I know, Francis, you are owner operator, so it's a little bit different, but Leona, when you work for trucking companies, was there any support for female drivers, let's say, for all these situations? Sometimes, like you said, you had a hard time with filing the complaint because you felt like it make it harder for you, right? But do you think that the bigger carriers, mega carriers, because probably you started with the bigger carriers,
Yes.
do they even have in-house support? Someone that you can go and really discuss this and kind of, you know, you do have those experiences that somebody helps you. Do they offer that?
I haven't had I haven't worked for a company that offered that. I don't know if they do at certain companies, but I haven't had that experience of being able to go to someone and talk to anybody about it. The thing about trucking is they don't, even if they offer it, I feel, in my opinion, even if they offer it, um it's just something that they offer because they're looking to make money, not to hear you gripe about something. It's basically, it's not spoken, but it's basically figure it out.
Yeah.
figure it out the way to handle it. They'll make it look like, they'll have somebody make, to help you out or whatever, but they really don't want to hear it. This is trucking, is grimy. They figure you need to know that you know what you got yourself into. Stop crying about this and figure it out. That's the attitude that it is in trucking.
Okay.
So
So let's see on this statistics. So implementation of same gender training would encourage more women in as drivers. As we said, you went through that hard time when your training was an opposite, and then first it was sexual harassment, then it was a military abuse. So 39% agree that yes, if there would be the same gender trainer, that they probably would go. And we know that a lot of women, they give up. They actually give up before they can even finish the 25% of the training,
yes,
exactly because of that. And
yes.
how many of them are not really talking about this issue? So let's talk about family time,
Mhm.
being away from the kids, being away from the house, being on the road. What the longest time you've been on the road? For example, Francis, without coming back home. How many weeks, how many days, how many months?
Months at a time.
Months at a time. And you are mom of 4 kids, right? So how do you handle this?
At first, the first time that I was ever away that long, I like broke down. I like had a nervous breakdown in the truck, man. I was like, I need my kids. Like, I took care of my kids by myself as a stay-at-home mother while Junior was working in the trucking industry. He had dedicated runs, and he was home, every 3 days or every 4 days. So I wasn't always by myself, but for the most part, I was the one taking care of the kids. So to leave for a whole month at a time, it was it was hard for me
So
because
who was watching the kids?
well, his mother, my mother, my sister, his sister, family. That's when we're in Arizona, but now they're already big, and I could be gone for like 3 months and they wouldn't even care. They would just
They wouldn't care.
be like,
So
party.
okay, so do you think this is affecting your kid's life to having mom and dad away for most of the time?
Definitely, I do. Definitely, they have their kids in class and like, oh, I'm tired of my mom and dad, and my kids like, well, I can't wait to see my mom and dad. They're not always home. Sophia.
Okay, but also, so Sophia, come on, you are a female in this industry, so let's talk about this. So Sophia, do you think that it helps you to kind of play around and kind of make them guilty and get the little iPad, extra shot? What do you think? Tell me honestly, because if I would be you, oh my God, I would play that card every day. I want something.
Yes and no, because I have used it a few times, but I do feel guilty for it because I'd much rather have like my parents home than more of the materialistic things. My parents have never really been like about money. We like quality time, so I'd much rather have them home than an iPad or like anything that costs a lot.
So right now you have a chance. A lot of people watching us, and it's gonna be stay there for a long time. So what do you want to tell to your mom? How proud are you of your mom? Can you tell
Um,
us, looking at her, can you tell what the best quality she has and tell her how much you appreciate her in your own words?
oh, don't tell me you're gonna make me cry. This is my baby, by the way. My
So,
oldest is not even here.
so Sophia, let's see.
Um, my my best quality that my mom has is she's very kind-hearted and very like she loves to give to everyone else but herself, and she's always worried about everyone else but herself. With me and my siblings, my mom would do anything to make sure we had food on the table or presents under the tree every single Christmas, no matter what. And I know checking is very difficult with the weather or even working with my dad sometimes. So I'm very proud of you for always having to be at work because not having you home more than you are home is rough.
Well, now it's a time for big hug and kiss. So this was I want to start crying. You
Oh,
know, I want to start crying. So
oh.
for all the moms on the road, you have to understand that your kids love you and they appreciate you. And that's what sometimes as a parent we have to do. We have to provide. We have to
Sacrifices.
work hard. You know, I mean, I'm not on the road, but I work so many hours and days and weekends. So my kids like, mom, why trucking? This takes all you are away from us. So this is challenges all the time. But then in the end of the day, they are proud of me and proud of my achievements and they appreciate. But believe it or not, they use it to sometimes
Against you.
blackmail me. And you know what? Sometimes it's easier. Okay, here you go. Here's your $100. Just leave me alone because I need to do another life. Here you go. Just go. So, Liana, tell us challenges, challenges with family, being away, going through tough times. How important that support from your closest family and maybe friends. Do you feel like that's something that people don't want to talk about? Is that possible to be just lonely in that truck and you don't talk to no one, or you get used to it? Can you get used to just being you and you in the truck and just driving, watch YouTube, maybe do something? I mean, or there's a struggle a lot of times.
At the beginning, for me, it was a struggle because I was always around my kids, and then when I started driving and I didn't have the trainer, I remember just sometimes always crying, and I mean it was depressing and it was quiet, and then I don't know, one day it just wasn't. I was comfortable in the quietness. I chose to not think that it was loneliness, but being alone. So it was a choice. And then that's when I started really reading a lot and learning a lot about owner operators and all of the different type of things that I might want to do. And then driving all day and then doing that as well. There's not enough hours in the day to even feel anything,
Yeah.
And so I think I crossed over to now. It's like I don't even know if I could have a partner or anything because I am so used of being that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about this because Frances is married. She's with her husband. But let's say you were a single girl, you're still single now. And do you think that that's put the pressure, right? Like to get into a new relationship? I mean, you're a beautiful girl. Probably, when you go on that bike, or I mean, come on, hundreds of guys probably hitting on you. But does trucking put the reality pressure and actually trying to be in a relationship?
It does. I mean, because you, of course, you being in a relationship, you have to be there for each other.
Yeah.
And when you're in this type of business, and again, I haven't been driving for a while, but being in this business, it you have to, unfortunately, you have to put your job first, and the relationship second, because this career, you have to go to work. You have to get on that truck and go to work. And then sometimes your partner may feel like they're being neglected. So there's feelings and everything involved. And to be able to focus and do what you need to do, I feel like I can't be in a relationship because I have that extra thing I got to worry about, that I'm not pleasing that person, or but I have to focus. I can't get on that truck and go to work and worry about that he's pissed off at me, because that's going to take me off my game, and then anything can happen. So I feel like not being in a relationship and it just being me, I can concentrate more and I excel more when I'm like that. So
And me personally, I can relate to that because I recently went through the worst in July. But my husband, when he would go on the road, this was the hardest time because it's like you away. Yes, phone calls is fine, and both of us are busy. I'm extremely busy, and sometimes the way you talk, you think you take things differently, and then it's not easy for him. It's not easy for you. But yes, trucking is a lot of times is a cause of divorces, the other family issues, even with the kids, because kids
Yeah.
need
yeah,
us all the time.
Yeah.
yes,
And this is the reality. So a lot of people don't think about it before they go into the trucking, right? And then
Yeah.
they realize, but then we have this kind of financial stability, right? Like Francis says, oh, I start doing it because, well, I have 4 kids. We need financial stability. So when I saw my check, I like, okay, I'm gonna do it because we do need to make sure that kids
Yeah.
go to college, that we have the food and everything. So
Right.
do you think just because the paycheck is a little bit better than average job in America, that's why people go and sacrifice a lot of things just because that's a financial stability?
Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay. So, what do you think? Do you think that being the company driver and being the owner operator, the things that we have to deal with, the issues, the liability, the pressure, the hard working conditions, because they are hard working conditions, not
Mhm.
even having the basic human uh, needs,
Necessities.
needs sometimes, right? Do you really think that trucking is well compensated, or it is actually underpaid on all levels? And we're not gonna separate owner of the company, or I mean owner operators or company drivers, because it's still different responsibility. But do you guys think that this industry is actually, especially now,
I
is
agree.
well compensated?
yeah,
it's under. It's under where it's supposed to be right now. I'm supposed to be making a whole lot of money, and I ain't making none. And
right.
I only get 1 day off out of the week, and that's not even enough. That's only enough to take a shower. I'm driving 6 days out of the week, nonstop because we're a team and we're supposed to be making good money. And right now, the way the rates are, we're not making any good
So
money.
let's go back to driving on the road, not able to stop. So what do you guys bring inside of the truck to make it more comfortable? Like, for instance, what do you have, which most of the maybe drivers don't have if they are male? Or what do you have, like extra stuff that you carry just to make it comfortable? Do you decorate your truck?
Yeah.
Do
I
you?
have water heater, microwave, refrigerator, porta potty. The only thing I don't have in my truck is a shower. So I take baby wipes. I have, a small shower bag that I take with me where I brush my teeth, on the side of the road with gallons of water. I always make sure I have extra water, like a week's worth of water in my truck because I don't know where I'm going to be at. I don't know, when's the next time I'm going to be in a real bathroom. I have sanitizing wipes, I have sanitizing spray. I mean, it's like my mini house.
How many bags of makeup do you take with you?
Zero. I don't I don't go out like this. When I go out, they think I'm a man or until they see my face, obviously. I have
Okay.
my back, I don't wear lipstick, I don't wear anything when I'm at
Well, I
work.
see you have a beautiful nail. So if you
Yeah.
driving with your husband, team drivers, I think, when are you doing those nails? In the middle of Tennessee somewhere, Alabama, Florida? How does nail appointments go? How the hair appointments go? How anything else goes? Tell me the reality.
I schedule when I'm home. The one day that I'm home, I book in advance because it's the only day I can get it done, to get a fill in is it's been about 3 weeks now. So
Okay. So you still try to be on schedule.
yeah.
Leona, what about you? How many makeup bags do you bring? How many different nice outfits? Or it's actually, let's talk about that TikTok presence, YouTube presence, about the glamorous truck drivers who
Now
showing
we
everybody that they spend an hour a day for. I mean, I spend like 5 minutes. I don't even have time, but
yeah,
I am the worst client for my daughter because she's a beautician. Every time she wants
Ooh.
to do my makeup, I like, Nastinka, Anastasia, I cannot do it because you're gonna take 40 minutes or 30 minutes of my time. I do 1 to 3, I'm done. I have to run. So, Leona, let's talk about it. Because we see those girls presenting that trucking is so glamorous, and you have all this time for makeup, for curling your hair, for putting this. Is it true? Or this is something which it comes with actually illusion? Because social media gives us a lot of illusion. So, Leona, what do you think? Because I know you have a strong opinion on that. So,
It's illusion.
I agree. It takes me 5 minutes. Wash my face, brush my teeth, comb my hair. I'm ready.
Illusion. So a lot of times we have downtime. You have people that sometimes you're on your 34-hour reset. You
Yeah.
can do all of these things and make it look a certain way. The
Yeah.
reality is trucking is grimy. It's grimy.
Mhm.
You have dirty nails. I mean, trucking
Mhm.
is grimy. I mean, for me, especially when I was doing the dedicated runs and come home on Friday, that's the only time I would get, a little glammed up because I was happy and I was on my way home. But
Yeah.
I don't have time. You're driving all day.
Mhm.
I know for me, I'm driving all day. I barely want to stop. I'm upset because I have to stop and put the diesel because when I'm running, I'm running. You don't have time to do all of that stuff. You know,
So
so
do you think that most of the people who look at those girls and those women, they just get their own perspective and then they get really disappointed because when they go to reality,
right,
even if she did pack her 5 bags of makeup and all the high heels and everything else, I
yeah,
mean, it's gonna be no time to
no
actually
time,
even try it on.
Yeah.
no time, no time at all. Because if you do have time to do it, you're not really making any money. You're just doing it for the camera. Because
Exactly.
no time to do all of that if you are trying to make some money. You're always running. You don't have
Yeah.
time for it. So it's an
Yeah.
illusion. A
Money
pro-
runs you, and you don't have time for anything else when that money's running you.
no, you know. So yeah,
No, some girls said no nails because of the refills. Well, yes, probably a lot of women do not have nails because if you run, you need to still schedule that. It takes time, right? So let's talk about other issues. Staying healthy on the road,
mm,
eating, truck stops. How do you guys handle this? So, Francis, now it's not only you still have a hungry guy next to you all the time.
Yeah.
So, do you guys just stop on the truck stops or do you prepare food? How do you handle that part?
Well, it depends on how the week is. If we're like dead tired and we got another week coming where we're dead tired, we have ready food because we have the microwave and we have a hot plate. You just put cans in of whatever we want to eat on the go because we don't have time to stop and eat at a restaurant or Denny's or
Mhm.
IHOP or whatever they have there. Even when they have the Wendy's, stop and get off and fuel and go buy food. Sometimes we don't even do that. We don't even have time for that. Like we gotta go. Like we gotta make this money. Like this
mhm,
load has to get here. I
yes.
got a hot plate, microwave, refrigerator. I carry hot pockets with me. I carry burritos with me. The only thing that I did take out of my truck was my portable stove because I had a really big one and I need a really small one. It had a double plate on it to where you could cook, so I could fry burritos or make menudo or, I haven't got that far yet because all I do is drive. I don't have time to even cook
Okay.
in my truck. Like we're eating whatever we have handy, granola bars, oranges, like anything that we can have next to us to eat so we're not
So,
buying fast food.
so
It takes
for the
time.
6 years now, do you see decrease in your house? Like, do you feel it that not healthy eating, that stress kind of adds up to you, or you still feel like everything is great, you're energized, you're ready to go? Do you have those days when you feel that because of the stress, because of the harsh conditions, because of not having that shower, because of not eating normal food, healthy food? Do you have those days where like your energy goes down and you just feel like, well, that's not what I should be going through?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's for every truck driver, whether you're man or woman, because you get used to your home cooked meals when you're at home or when you're with your family, and you can't have those when you're over the road. And most of the time, people don't have time to stop, and eat home cooked meals at Denny's or wherever they serve them at Iron Skillet. You can't just stop unless it's like your 34-hour restart and you.
Plus, it's two of you, so that's
Yeah,
like to go even to Denny's. By the time you pay, by the time you get the tip, this is also lots of money. And
yeah.
let's talk about the prices on the truck stop for even that
Ooh.
banana, apple, the drink.
Goodness.
How overpriced is that?
The prices are too high. I take everything with me. I shop at Walmart. I shop at Family Dollar. Anywhere where I find the deals, Publix, I get the deals and I take it in my truck with me. Like I don't buy mochas, I don't buy Red Bulls, I don't even buy water at the truck stops. I ran out of water this week and they charged me $6 in Pennsylvania for 1 gallon of water. And I was
Wow.
like, I was like, what? Like this is supposed to be like 99 cents.
Well, Leona, how do you handle your food preparation?
Pretty much the same. Before I leave out, I'll go shop to Walmart and I
Yeah.
fill my truck up with everything that I need. And that was when I got maybe a year into trucking, because before I was doing the fast food, and then you don't realize how much money you're spending also whenever you're doing these fast food. But I found myself a lot of times when I was doing the fast food and just hurry up and grabbing something to eat while I'm putting diesel, is you eat that food and it's heavy, and now
Yeah.
you're tired and you have to drive,
Yeah.
and it's not healthy. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I started doing the Walmart thing, and making sure that I had everything that I needed for the week. That I would cook in my truck. So pretty much the same thing she does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let's go to reality. Francis, how many times did you want to quit?
Woo! Come on, I can't even count. No, lately it's been really stressful. Like seriously, I was looking into going back to school because before I started driving, I was going to school for nursing.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Francis always forgets something at home. Well, remember, she's still with you and she's going to be driving with you and she's home with you tonight. So I would be careful on those remarks today because tomorrow you might not have that fresh chicken in as a
Mm,
home meal, right?
yeah, right. No, he's my better half. He always has my back. I don't know what I'd do without him.
So what are the plans, Francis? So you're what, 38, 39? You've
Yeah.
been driving for what, 6 years? How
Yeah.
many years your husband been driving?
Let's see, 2000. No, wait. I think when my second son was born before 2003, so it's been over 20 years.
20 years he've been on the road.
Yeah.
Okay. And you also guys have other trucks, right? Or you just have
Yes.
your own trucks. So
Three.
now the pressure, not only being a driver, but also kind of be a business person who needs to take care of trucks, of drivers.
Yeah.
So what is the plan there?
Uh,
Isn't it the time to maybe stop driving and grow your fleet, or you're not there yet? What are the challenges of trying to stop driving and now having your little company? Why it's not happening? What's holding you up?
the rates right now is not a good time to buy a truck, and you know we're just taking it a day at a time right now because there is a lot of challenges. The freight, the diesel. I mean, you name it, it's a challenge. Like Junior, he does a really good job with the company because he's a numbers guy. Like he's like super smart, and he handles the numbers very well. Like we don't have to pay somebody to handle the numbers. Um, that's not a challenge for us. The challenge is the industry, like being able to afford our fuel.
What about dispatch? Who's dispatching you? How's the relationship between dispatch and you guys?
I don't talk to dispatch. Let me just say that real quick. When they say
Okay,
I got you a load, I'm like, okay. I get the address, I drive to the pickup, and I pick up. I don't,
okay.
I don't
So,
negotiate
so you
anymore.
don't really go through operational costs to profits to loss. You don't
Oh
really
yeah,
get.
on the profit and loss statements that we do every month, but not with the dispatch. Like with dispatch, they just like, where do you want to go? I'm like, where the money's at.
Okay.
And
So, are you happy with your dispatch service so far? Let's be honest. This is an honest. Okay, they watch. They have to improve because, guys, you have to be afraid. I can just take her in my company and she will be happy. So you'd better improve.
woo,
So, Francis, tell us honestly, are there challenges right now in this market which puts more stress because it's not easy to be a dispatcher right now. Let's be honest. And sometimes expectations of owner operators are not realistic. So
yeah.
let me ask you this. Are you the realistic owner operator or you the one who is never happy?
No, I'm realistic because I can be happy for the right amount of money. There's always a deal to be made. I know what I'm worth. As a team driver, we know what the rates are, what they should be,
Well,
what they.
you know what you worth, you know what it should be, but then we have reality of market. Then
Yeah.
we have reality of other people not understanding their
Ah,
operational cost, the reality. So, well, it's two different things. You can know, but the reality right now, and I know that the reality
yeah.
sucks. So
Yeah.
this is an extra pressure on you. So looking at this year, because we are in the end of the year, compared to the last year, like, I mean, are you guys still stable or you think that maybe you need to rewatch something in the next year, like maybe change the where you go, maybe I don't know, what is the plan?
That's what we're thinking about, looking into another dispatching company because I don't know how things are going to turn out, but we're looking into something different for the new year. Like
Mhm.
we're just taking it slow right now because of Christmas and the new year coming, and we want it to be a good, profitable year. No matter what the rates are, no matter what the brokers' deals are, we need somebody who we can communicate with, who knows us, know what we like, know what we want, understands our needs as a team driver, and not giving us runs that a solo driver can do. Because it's just like a waste of time and money for having
Mhm.
us both in the truck, giving us a load that a solo driver can do.
So
Like,
maybe changing the markets, maybe understanding the reality of actually two drivers should not. You always can take a single load and make
yeah,
it what? Make it a team, but it's not
yeah.
really something which can work. Well, Leona, you have not been driving. So what are plans for you? You finished my dispatch class, market went down. You had some things you had to take care of, family issues.
Congratulations.
So no, she had a lot of things that was not easy to deal with. You coming back, I want you to take your time, get there. And actually that's why even before we finish this class, both of you are getting my IFTA class for free just because you want to come and share your expertise and change the trucking for better. So I'll see you in IFTA classes whenever you can take this one or April, but hopefully Francis, you need to take one in January, same as Leona. What
Okay.
are your plans? Do you want to go back and a big trucks? Do you want to try to, I mean, to buy the truck now? It's a suicidal mission. So yeah, no, you're not gonna do that, right? Because you gonna listen to my advice for a little bit, right? So
Right.
what do you think, Leona? What are the plans for you?
Well, I'm on the fence with going back and not going back. I mean, I catch myself getting these truck withdrawals, but then I want to be home with the grandkids, and as far as the dispatching, I learned a lot in your class. But what I'm finding, these owner operators right now are really struggling, so it's really hard
Yeah.
to stay afloat in that. But what I am looking into is government contracts.
Okay.
So I'm really getting a lot of knowledge and learning and doing a lot of research and trying to get these government certifications and expressing to my followers, owner operators, to try to get that too. That way, if I do get these contracts and I win a bid, that they would be ready to go because they have their government contracts. So that's where I'm at with it. That way, I don't have to deal too much with the load boards anymore and the brokers. So that's what I'm thinking my future is.
Okay. Plus, we're gonna add some safety knowledge because without safety, you cannot be in trucking. Doesn't matter what you do. Okay. So will we advise for women who are sitting there right now and thinking, well, should I become a truck driver? Should I gonna go and get that CDL? Francis, what do you think? What is your percentage? Do it and do not do it, and be honest.
I say
So
do it. You want to do it? Go get your driver's license and do it. Show them you can do it. Prove
okay,
to
what do you
yourself you
think?
can do
What do
it.
you
It's
think, Leon?
done.
Oh, absolutely do it. I always tell anybody that wants to get into trucking that it I don't see it's a win-lose situation. I always see it as a win-win. Logistics, trucking, that's gonna always be there. So I don't
Yeah.
think when you get into trucking, I don't see it.
Okay, I think that we plan on getting on the truck soon as possible, but it would take some time. Yes, planning and knowledge and preparation. So, what other things you think, guys, we did not talk as being a female on the road? What do you think that we missed? We were talking about house food. We were talking about all the sexual harassments. We were talking on safe parking, family issues, challenges to actually go through the training. What other things? Because again, guys, you girls, you are on the truck. I am not. So, what do you think? What else do we have to bring awareness? What about belonging to some groups to
Yeah.
empower women, to some organizations? So Francis, what do you believe in? Do you belong to any? Because yesterday actually I did become a part also of women in trucking, just because I gonna empower women. And I have been doing it, right, Leona? I'm
Yeah.
trying to empower women. So what, Francis, for you, do you like to belong to any organizations? Do you have like groups where just female truckers talk to each other? Like, what do you think? Is that important or not?
It is important, and I'm not a part of any groups. I don't really see any truck drivers out there that are women in the flatbed industry. It's mostly men. There's not even anybody for me to talk to besides
Okay.
my cup of coffee.
But recently I saw that you also joined Nadra. So is
Yes.
that because your husband put the gun to you and say, come on, we're joining Nadra now, let's go? Or that's something you want to do?
No, it's something I did want to do. I really like that they were coming together as an organization to make changes. And I was like, hey, man, I'm going to be a part of that. Like, power for everybody, man. We're going to change everything. And I was excited. I couldn't believe it because I thought he was messing around. And he was like, oh, we're going to join this group. And I'm like, yeah, like, you're crazy.
Okay.
Like,
So now you have something common that you guys can talk and have
yeah,
inspiration, right? So
yeah.
that's actually makes you closer. So that's good. Leona, what about you? Do you belong to any organizations?
I don't. I only follow a lot of groups on social media. That's about it.
Okay, so what is your favorite group on social media, which you think actually supports women and empower, and actually you get benefits like knowledge? What do you think? Which groups are out there that female drivers should follow?
I follow. My favorite one is Trucking Sisterhood.
Okay,
Um, yeah, you have a lot of women. They talk about their experience. We share a lot. You know, experiences. I really love that group. I mean, they do a lot for the community. So and that's important too. They give back. That's why I really like them. They the giving back and the communication. So pretty good group though.
Look into that.
sounds good. So who is your favorite YouTuber?
You.
I was just asking for the compliment. I was
Hey,
like, okay, come on, just throw me under there. I deserve it. I'm here empowering women. I am here trying to change this trucking for better, right?
Hey, I
And
didn't
good.
watch YouTube or TikToks like following people like that until I saw your interview with Nardra, and I was like, oh, I was like, she's the best. I was like, I'm gonna start following her. I was like, I don't follow people, but I'm gonna follow her. I want to see what she does. I like the way she's talking to them.
what made me like her, I don't know what it was. I was at the time, it was the beginning of the year, and I was going through stuff and everything, and I was thinking about what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna get back on the road, but I'm thinking about dispatching. And I was worried about getting the right training because I saw
Yeah.
so many people that were advertising things, and I'm like, I don't know, and so I need to kind of watch. And when I watched, she came across, Alex came across, and she was no nonsense.
Uh-huh.
It was some of
Yeah.
the things that she was saying. I would just be laughing, which at that time I needed to laugh. So she
Yeah.
had me laughing, and I was like, you know what? This
Keeping it
feels right.
real.
You can feel it between your chest
Yeah.
and your stomach that she was the one, and
Yeah.
like she's the one, and that's how I picked her.
I agree. I agree because I never seen anybody do an interview like that, and I was like blown away. I was like, man, I was like, she's the baddest right here. I was like, I need to start following her. I was like, who is she? Where? What is she doing on here? What? And she's talking to them like, I'm
Yes,
here
yes,
with
yes.
you,
I don't care if you like me, whether you like me or not. I'm gonna still say it. You know,
right?
I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I love the
Well,
most.
Francis, now you on the show. So when I texted you and I saw that you I want to invite, was there any hesitation? And you're like, no, I'm gonna do it.
No, it was because I was nervous because I was like, oh, like, what do I do with my hands?
So did you had fun today? I mean,
Yeah,
I think we had fun.
I
yeah.
Right. And Leona too. I just texted her and she's like, oh my God, yeah. Because I didn't know if she's gonna take it or not. And she's like, yeah, I'm doing it. And it's so funny because we follow each other on Facebook and I always see her fancy outfits and this and that. And it's just nice to just, put the like, and she usually put the like. So building that positive community. But I can tell you this, girls, whatever they say, but we are sassy as hell.
I agree.
Right? Well, I love that she's real and willing to help. Oh, your husband understand that it's the end of the show. Yes, Junior, we help you. How's those fuel cards working for you? Well, I hopefully now
Working
you're
good.
saving money. We're gonna make sure Francis knows about IFTA and permits, so she's gonna be ready. Leona's gonna add that as extra service because Leona, it can be totally extra revenue. I don't care if you're gonna work with a government contracts, it's good. But now you can start providing IFTA every 3 months. You can start filing, opening, and charging money because you do have personality. You know how to connect to people. So you just need a little push. So there you go. Push for you, girls. Another class. I am going to put some knowledge there. I'm going to make sure that you girls succeed. Of course, Christmas is coming, right? So make sure that you take all the cute pictures, Leona, with all those grandkids. Come on. I don't have grandkids yet, so it's gonna be just me and kids who don't want to take pictures with me. Kids who don't want to take pictures with me.
Right?
But Francis, make sure that we see pictures of you and your kids as well, and make sure that you still a boss of that truck and trucking company. So Junior can just sit there and put all these messages, but we know who's the real boss, and the boss is Francis, who is a boss. Leona is a boss, and I'm a little boss, but it's
Oh,
okay.
well, you're a big boss. You can tell so you're a big boss.
Well, girls, thank you so much. And again, we're going to say goodbye and we'll see you next time. Next week,
Yes.
we're going to talk about financing the equipment. We're going to talk again to the dad, what they bringing up, truck stop, and the new year starts. It's have not been easy year, but we are almost over. So I'm wishing you much of happiness, joy, profits. And
Thank
I
you.
want you to today, guys, seriously, today is the day. So today is the December 16th. I don't want you to go to bed before you're gonna take your book and you're gonna put your goals for 2023. I am gonna bring you back next December. You're gonna show me that goals and you're gonna tell me what did you do and achieve because I'm watching you, right? Leona knows me from the classes. What do you think every time you think that Alex is standing there, right? And watching you. What are you asking? How are you gonna dispatch? How are you gonna talk to carriers? And things gonna get better because now it's a struggle in trucking. So do not give up.
Right.
You guys, my heroes. So thank you so much for
Thank you
being
for having me.
Thank you for sharing the stories, and I'll see you back. So
Bye.
I'm gonna say goodbye to
Yes.
both of you, and I'll just talk to the followers for another few minutes. Well, what do you think? What do you think, boys and girls? Look at those amazing women. Being a truck driver is not an easy task. Being a truck driver, female truck driver, has a lot of challenges. And we were talking about safety issues, sexual harassment. We talk about unfairness of this trucking industry. But I can tell you this, we as a female, we are the one who actually making the changes. We need to get united. We need to empower each other. We need to make sure that we actually appreciate each other and share our experiences. We need to speak the truth. A lot of things in trucking are not getting on the news. A lot of people afraid to talk about this. Let's change that because as a female driver, as a person is female who run in trucking industry or being an instructor, a lot of times we have our challenges. But remember, together we can change things. So let's get united. Let's make sure that we put likes with we empower our female drivers. We are thankful to them and we appreciate their hard work. And also to all the kids, make sure that this Christmas your mom is getting that extra hug. And like we were watching Sophia when she was telling everybody why is her mom so special, because her mom goes on the road to make sure that she provides to 4 kids because she puts the kids and her family first and her as second. And that's is admiration. And for all of you guys, make sure, and husbands and boyfriends and family members, give that extra hug. Give that extra nice note, maybe saying, I love you, mom. Thank you, mom. Same for the guys. Make sure that you appreciate our women. I will be done with you guys. And to the next time.